We're going to take a look at Burlington, North Carolina, and the economic development effort of local leaders there to make a place made famous by an old economy industry, the textiles industry, and the success they've had trying to embrace the new economy industry. Joining us are Ian Baltutis, the mayor of Burlington, Peter Bishop, the economic development director for the city of Burlington, and Wellesley Robinson with Core Properties and Development. Welcome to Bottom Line. Well, Mayor, let's start. What was the city of Burlington in terms of economic development when you inherited the mayor's office, and what have been some of the strategies that you've employed while you've been in that office?
Yeah, so when I took office about 2 years ago, the city had just adopted a new strategic plan called Destination Burlington, and we were looking at more proactive ways to tackle economic development. When I look at economic development, I like to look at it in two different ways, one from a supply and one from a demand side. Demand being looking at jobs and how do you do some of the different activities that either recruit companies, recruit employers and jobs, as well as create an entrepreneurial ecosystem that starts and fosters small businesses in the community. From the supply side, it's about making sure that we have the workforce, especially in today's economy with lower unemployment rates. How do we make sure that we have the employees to help our employers be successful? Whether that's making sure that our education system is promoting the right skills to help our diverse industries excel, and also making sure that employees that relocate to the area want to stay in the area to help reduce turnover rates for our employers.
Well, Peter, you're out there every day selling Burlington. What is the competition? What are the things that employers are looking for in terms of a place to bring their business?
Well, they're, again, looking for a strong workforce. They need additional product. So in the economic development sense, your buildings and your sites and your location tend to be a product as well. So they're looking for a good mixture of labor as well as product for building and for new development. And they want your location to be good logistically, but also in an area that people want to be in and where people are moving to. And North Carolina has those benefits. We have a lot of universities both in Alamance County and nearby in Burlington, and also in the Triad and the Triangle. So we're really well located for workforce, and we've got good buildings and good product to work with.
Well, in Wellesley, your industry, you're physically supplying the properties where these businesses will go. What are some of the challenges that you face in terms of finding something that's perfectly suited for what an employer needs?
Sure. Well, a lot of what I work on as well is urban renewal and revitalization. So many downtown properties, and what we've seen and what my family's history has been is urban renewal. And we see that the downtown properties then become the sense of community, because downtowns are truly the heart and soul. And Burlington is working very hard right now to create that sense of community and bring in the history, which we have so much of, as well as meet today's needs of our businesses, of our entrepreneurs, of our growing population. So, but downtown itself then becomes that connectivity, that fabric, that energy, and the density and the vibrancy that you get from that becomes place you identify with.
With all of these efforts, what are some of the success stories? Where have you had things accomplished that you wanted, and maybe things that didn't go as well as you wanted to, but you learned a lesson from?
I think one of the great things we've done is a renewed focus on quality of life, focusing on infrastructure like greenways, improvements to parks, as well as the human infrastructure. So we started a program in January called Belong in Burlington, focusing on how we get new residents really connected with the community. Not just your traditional stack of flyers and a basket of mini muffins, but a real face-to-face relationship with somebody in the community, whether it's a United Way director or a council member or city manager or police chief.
Peter, somebody that you've landed that you were pursuing for a period of time?
Sure. There's a couple projects that I think represent traditional economic development and then sort of a new direction that we've been taking at the city. And the first would be Sheetz, a new company to North Carolina. Their main distribution center is in the city of Burlington. They do hot food manufacturing and then all their distribution for the gas stations everywhere. And it's become a very popular gas station that's full service. And that was a multi-year effort with lots of partners, and we were very happy to get that project. One of the newer ones that we had is a renewal of an old mill building, May Hosiery, in downtown Burlington, and it's going to be a 70-unit apartment building right in our core downtown. So it's going to bring critical mass to the area. It's right next door to LabCorp's world headquarters. That's right there in downtown Burlington. So we're going to have some good synergy between the employees that they're looking for and a great place for them to live, and of course in Wellesley's properties where there are some bars and restaurants and office space. So it all sort of ties together in our downtown, and that's a new approach. And some people don't look at economic development necessarily as attracting people and doing residential, but more and more community development and building a good place and community is very vital for economic development.
Well, and you mentioned LabCorp is a very large international corporation, 65,000 employees around the world. To some extent, it's got to have an impact on the community, internationalizing the population. Does that benefit the kind of properties, the development that you're bringing?
Oh, sure. I mean, their energy, it's fantastic to have such an established corporation right here in our hometown, right in downtown Burlington. It certainly, helps being able to work with them and having them interface with us as community members, and also in working to develop and redevelop spaces that we have for business in downtown, and seeing that mutual benefit. It's beneficial to LabCorp, and it's wonderful for them to see the community around them grow, and also it's great for us to see LabCorp continue to be so good at what they do and continuing to grow their business.
So what's next? What are you trying to accomplish over the next decade in terms of economic development in Burlington?
We talked a little about the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We've had a big success that Wellesley's been a critical part of, is the maker movement in our city. Burlington's recognized as a maker city in the United States. We've been recognized with a number of awards related to that. And we have a downtown makerspace, as well as makerspaces in our educational institutions around the county.
What kind of businesses are in a makerspace?
So makerspace is really about skills transfer and access to equipment. So if you're trying to prototype something, or if you need to develop software programming skills in order to take your idea and actually turn it into a prototype, the makerspace is the place for you. It's really a gymnasium for geeks. You spend your $40 monthly membership and you have access to hundreds of thousands of dollars in tools and knowledge. And so it's a great way to really democratize innovation and connect folks with that small business opportunity.
Peter, do you see that as a big part of the economic future of the community, naturally born businesses that started and grew up in the city?
Absolutely. You mentioned LabCorp. They're actually a company that was started by two brothers in the city of Burlington. So it's a story of something that started very small and now is this massive international company and very impressive. So we do see that, and we're trying to be more intentional about small and medium-sized business, the people who really need our services the most, that could use the advisement that economic developers do provide. So we see that certainly growing, and we also want to be more precise in how we're marketing. So not just the scattershot approach, being, using a sniper rifle versus a grenade is a good example. And companies that could take advantage of being near LabCorp and biomedical testing. Our MSA is the #1 in the country for biomedical testing jobs, which is pretty impressive for us. But also being more intentional about specialty and technical fabrics. We mentioned textiles at the outset. It's an old industry, but it's getting modernized every day, and there's innovation happening every day, and there are companies in Burlington that are doing that innovation. So we want to be much more precise in how we're recruiting and make sure that we're helping our existing businesses while bringing new ones in.
Mayor, real quickly as we wrap up, what distinguishes you? You're often heralded as one of the next generation of elected officials in North Carolina, but as a millennial, how do you approach these issues differently than perhaps older generation officials do?
Really take a different stance on how we engage the population in the political discussion. So as an entrepreneur and someone in more of the technical world, I look at what are the different tools that we can use to reach voters and citizens across our community, engage them in this conversation. A great example of that success was in our recent Greenway plan, where we engaged with over 600 residents, and most of them engaged in a manner other than your normal traditional community meeting in a community center. And we're glad to see that new level of engagement really spreading across our community.
Great conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.